beady beads, peasy head, hard head, head too hard, head hard, eh? Sweet girl, I can't do nothing with this. Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody is doing great as we suffer through the quarantine. Are you guys suffering? I'm starting to suffer. This is going a little stir crazy. But anyway, I thought I'd get made up today a little bit, because if you watched my last video, you'll know that I said I was looking like a thundercat of late. And so I'm happy to at least put a little something on my face. And I haven't gotten around to really fixing my hair, but I want to have that conversation today about hair. Ta-da! Specifically, 4C hair. Now, before anybody in the comment section talks about, that ain't no 4C hair, that ain't no 4C hair, this is 4C hair, baby. This is 4C hair with a lot of products and 7 or 8 day old twist out. I'm going to wash my hair one day, not put product in my hair, let it air dry, and I'm going to come on YouTube so you can see the true definition in my hair. I have a little bit of a different texture in the front, but the majority of my hair is 4C. Right. So I recently heard something that I hadn't heard in God knows how long. I heard someone say, "You got that good hair." They obviously weren't talking to me, right? And I say obviously because they obviously don't view 4C hair as good hair. But when I hear people say good grade of hair or good hair, it makes me cringe, because, and it's coming from a black person, right? So I thought we were over this. It's like 2020, and I really thought people were a little bit more sensitive to the fact that people really aren't saying good hair and not getting stares anymore. We have so many beautiful different textures in the black hair community, and they run the gamut. I mean, they're beautiful hair textures, but 4C hair always is like, it's almost like a caste system, and 4C hair is always on the lower rung, right? We always talk about how nappy it is, how ugly it is, it's pelo malo, it's nappy, it's nasty, it's unkempt, it's unprofessional. Like every negative thing that you could think about that has been associated with black hair is typically said about 4C hair. Nobody's talking about 3A or 3C hair. I love all texture hairs, types of hair, right? I love when the hair is straight, love when it's wavy, love when it's curly, love when it's 4C, tightly coiled hair. It's all beautiful because I see the way that a lot of girls style it. I remember years ago when and this is like my second time being natural, right? The first time I went natural, this was so long ago, and the natural hair community wasn't what it is today. Like YouTube wasn't even around, so you could go and watch tutorials as to how you're supposed to properly detangle your hair, how to wash your hair, how to, condition your hair, trim your hair, all that stuff. It wasn't there. I remember going to hair salons where they said we don't do natural hair. So there was this one woman in the Bahamas. Her name was Karen. Shout out to Karen if she ever sees this, because she had the most beautiful locks and she catered to the growing natural hair community, and I just thought it was just such a beautiful thing, because everybody who was coming in there, they had like, a lot of them had like 4C hair, 4A hair, and it was just so nice to see that texture hair being embraced. So shout out to Karen in the Bahamas. But when I would go to the store, you would see lots of relaxers, you'd see weaves, that sort of thing, but you rarely saw products that catered to natural hair. And now when I go to the stores, the hair stores, I see so many products. I mean, the relaxers are still on the shelf, but I've seen that they've dwindled. I even talked about this in my blog, This Bahamian Gyal. If you ever want to see that, it's www.thisbahamiangyal.com, and you'll see the very long story where I talk about this very thing. But it's nice to see that natural hair is finally being embraced the way that it should be. But I think there's still a lot of discrimination in the natural hair community, particularly as it pertains to like 4C hair, and it just makes me sick. I've never looked at my hair as ugly. Even when even back then when it wasn't a lot of people rocking their natural hair, I always got offended, by the fact that they would say that. One of my cousins was probably one of the first people who ever really checked someone in the front of me for saying good hair. She hated that. My cousin Cindy, she hated that. And I always felt like she was pretty enlightened even back then. I'm so happy that I used to hang with her, because it's like, okay, now your eyes start to open up as to what people are saying and what they're doing, and it just makes absolutely no sense. But then I get frustrated because there are naturalistas who'll be like, oh, we're under the same tent, we're natural girls, we're rocking. But there is this caste system. And the girls with the looser texture or the curlier texture, they do look at girls with the 4C hair in a certain light, and it absolutely needs to stop. Your hair is no better than my hair. My hair is no better than anybody else's. It's just different. It's just a different texture hair. And I wish too that I would see, and I've seen strides, like magazines and companies are beginning to put girls who look a lot more like me and other girls with their natural hair on the boxes, on the magazines, that sort of stuff. That is so empowering. It feels so good to see people who look like you. So I just think that discrimination, the texture discrimination, needs to stop. I don't mind if a woman wants to relax her hair. I think, certain people, I have fine textured hair. So when my hair is relaxed, it looks really silky, but it also looks because it's fine, it doesn't look as full as a lot of people's hair. So my hair looks better in its natural state. And another thing that really, really, I hate to sound so old, grinds my gears, is when people say, natural hair ain't for me. Natural hair ain't for me. That don't look good on me. First of all, you've never even taken the time to grow out your hair to see how it looks. That's number one. Number two, and this really should be number one, I feel like Biggie Smalls in the 10 Crack Commandments. But number one, how can something that grows out of your scalp not be for you? How can it not suit you? How can it not suit you? It's like saying teeth ain't for me. My skin ain't for me. My eyelashes ain't for me. You have to take the time to really just appreciate who you are. I've had friends in the past who said that their boyfriends or their husbands don't like natural hair, so they wouldn't dare go natural. I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah, I'll leave that right there, because to me, if a man loves me, he's gonna love what I am. Instinctively, intrinsically, who I am and what I am. I shouldn't have to change myself, something that is natural to me. I'm not talking about I want to put on some makeup, because you can wash that off later or whatever, right? But I'm talking about having to change or not wanting to allow yourself to be free, not allowing yourself to just be your natural self, because you're fearful that this guy may look at you a little differently, or he may not be attracted to you. I don't know that I'd want to be with a black man, or any man for that matter, who has a problem with my natural hair. That being said, having natural hair is not an excuse for you to be unkempt. Now, being unkempt doesn't mean it's in its natural state and people just go, oh, that's unkempt hair. Because I've heard that before too. I've heard people say, your hair looks really dry, you need to oil it. And I'm like, my hair is not a straight texture, and so it's not going to reflect light the way that someone who has straight textured hair would reflect the light, and so it won't look as shiny. So, don't come with that, because my hair is very moisturized, right? But just because it's natural doesn't mean that you just can go like, bam! And that's me for the day. You still have to take some time to take care of your hair, to make sure it's moisturized, to make sure it's healthy for your own sake, not for mine, because you having dry hair and split ends don't affect me. Don't affect me none, right? But for your own sake. But if you're in a work environment, you do want your hair to look nice. And looking nice doesn't mean having to mimic a straight texture. One of the things I find myself, and I've been weaning myself off of, is edge control. So I have edge control on today. I know. I didn't set it and all that stuff, right? Because everybody has to have like their edges on fleek. Gotta be fleeky. Fleeky! The edge gotta be fleeky! Right? And I like the way it looks because it does give it a little polished look, right? But even that word, polished. So I don't look polished if I don't have my edges fleeky, you know? So I find myself like sometimes when I go to work or whatever, especially in the past when I used to work in like a corporate environment and I would go to work and I didn't put edge control on and people would be like, what's different about you? You don't look so, you need to put your edges, like, you know, do your edges and stuff like that. But all right, cool. And I'm a bit of a contrarian. No, I'm a lot of a contrarian. So the more somebody wants something, the less I'm going to give it to them. So I would continue coming to work without edge control. I know people don't say it with malice. Not some people. Because you have some people who are just really ignorant and be like, oh, anybody want no nappy here? No. You know, you have those people. But then you have people who, you know, they've come from a different time, a different era or whatever. And they think it's okay. And it's really not. Because there's no such thing as bad hair when you're talking about texture, unless, of course, your hair is really just incredibly unhealthy. Because I've seen women with like a straighter texture hair, and that, I mean, more flyaways and split ends than you can count. That doesn't look good. That's, to me, bad hair, if you really want to say, because it's not healthy. It's not good looking hair. But I just hope that we can, you know, move past this in the Black community, and for my curly haired sisters, you know, your hair is beautiful, but that's not the only beautiful hair. I remember, just one last thing, I remember being in a bookstore in Nassau, where I'm from, and my hair was longer because I had to trim my hair because it was damaged from some color I had, but my hair was shorter, and I had it like in a pineapple. Right, my hair was longer, and I had it like in a pineapple, and it was like standing up, like really like a pineapple. And this Black lady who was a little older than me, she had like curly, beautiful hair, and she was just staring at me, and I was like, what is this woman looking at me for? And when I got my stuff, this was in the bookstore, I was about to walk out the door, she ran up to me and she said, how do you get your hair to do that? And I was like, get it to do what? And she's like, it's standing up. It's like, I was like, is this my crown, girl? What do you mean I'd get to standing up, right? And she said, and she had a looser texture, curly hair. She was like, I always wanted that kind of hair that would stand up. She said, my hair, no matter what I do, I'd have to tease it to get it to stand up. It always falls down. It always falls down. It's like, wow, the saying is true. You always want what you can have. You always want what you don't have. It was just a really nice and tender moment because it's like, oh, okay, there's somebody who actually admires my hair texture. I thought she was looking to say, why she don't do something with this hair? Because I was ready to pop off, child. Y'all don't know me. But yeah, just, you know, don't be so judgmental of the 4C hair. It is work. Anything that you have that is worth it is work. You know, you have to moisturize it all the time. You have to be gentle with it. You know, you can't be just using like if I see somebody coming towards me with a fine tooth comb, I'm out. See you. Because baby, you clearly don't know what you're doing when you come with the fine tooth comb. Where's my comb? Unless you parting my hair, don't come at me with no fine tooth comb. That's like you come with me with a loaded gun. Okay? So just be a little bit more aware. And know that when you say someone has nappy hair or bad hair or all that stuff. Now, I do know that there's some hair that have committed a few felonies, you know, murders and stuff. And yeah, those types of hair, that's what I'd call bad hair. You know, if they've ever shot anybody, then yeah, they're bad hair. And I know a couple hair that I shouldn't even say that because the FBI might come to me, but you know what? Yeah, okay. So that's bad hair. That's bad hair. If you got a rap sheet, that's bad hair. You kill somebody, that's bad hair. I got good hair. Anyway, that's my rant for today, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video with a W. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching. Stop saying bad hair, okay? Unless, what? It commits a murder or an armed robbery. See you next time. Bye.